Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is the Christmas event for families at Walt Disney World. If you're planning to take your littles in 2024, I'm going to cover all the event details through the lens of a parent. I'm going to give you suggestions like where to watch the parade and what characters are actually worth meeting. So if you're a parent, grandparent, nanny, whomever taking your littles to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, you're in the right place. All right, let's start off at the very beginning of the party and look at exactly what time you can get in. So the party starts at 7 p.m. and goes all the way until the wee hours of midnight. Yeah, a little crazy with littles, I know. So you can get in as early as 4 p.m. Just remember, this is a special ticketed event. So if you want to go to the parks earlier in the day, you're gonna have to have a park ticket on top of the special party ticket. Let me save you some money and some time and a little bit of stress. Learn from my lessons learned, because we have done a park day and then tried to go take a nap, then go to the Christmas party. I highly suggest skipping over that and just having a super chill resort day. Maybe do a character dining earlier in the day, but honestly, just hang out, have a really relaxed day, take kind of a later nap. Trust me, this will benefit you on the back end of the night. And then plan for the next day to also have just a slower morning. You don't need to cram in as much between 4 and then be exhausted by the party time at 7. So we like to go in a little bit later. I think we left our resort around 5 p.m. and we've done this for 2 different parties, and this has been perfect, especially if you have younger littles. Again, that's why we're doing that later nap time. Okay, so we get in around 5:36. You have enough time to go do 1 or 2 rides, and then the party starts at 7. If you have chosen against what my suggestions are of skipping the park earlier in the day and you're already in the park during the time that the party starts or is about to start, you can still get your wristbands without having to exit and then enter the park again. There are certain locations throughout the park that will offer you the wristband. I honestly would just go and ask a cast member and they'll be able to direct you to the closest one. But honestly, a highlight of walking into the Christmas party is being able to go in that kind of backstage loop area. You get a lot of hype from there, and that's where they're passing out all of the maps, and then you also get your ornament. Don't forget your wristband, and that's where they have the gingerbread and then a few other photo ops back there and the fun DJ. So the official party fun doesn't start until 7, but this year, unlike other years, I noticed that a few things started a little bit before. So we just happened to be back in Storybook Circus, and Santa started meeting before the party. So we were able to get in line for that before. And then they started taking orders and serving the party exclusive food before the party. They were checking to make sure you had party wristbands, so make sure you have those on. There is so much exclusive fun that Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party has that it can be hard to pinpoint and prioritize what your family wants to do, but again, through the lens of a parent, honestly, our prioritizations are going to be the parade, the fireworks, cookies, complimentary cookies, mind you, and then the dance parties. Those are our top 4 things that we make sure we prioritize. And all of the other things just kind of fall into place. So let's start with the parade. So the parade, this is probably one of the most important decisions you'll make of the night. You have 2 options of when you want to view it, aka when you think your kids will actually be awake to view it. So there's 8:30 and then 11 p.m. The 8:30 time is obviously popular amongst most families, but with that, you are going to get a lot of crowding and having to line up even earlier. The parade route is pretty long, so it starts over in the Frontierland area right next to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It goes down all the way over to Liberty Square and takes a hard right over towards the castle, loops around that Castle Hub area, and then heads straight down Main Street all the way to the tree, loops around the tree, and out. Both parades happen this way, so there's not one going one way and then it comes back the other way. They both start in Frontierland and then come down all the way down to Main Street. So timing, which one should you pick? Again, that 8:31 is the most popular among most families because they'll watch the parade, then they'll watch the fireworks, maybe a castle show, and head out right after fireworks, calling it an early night. That 11 o'clock one is also popular, but for a bit of an older crowd It really honestly depends if you think your kids will be able to stay up at 11 o'clock, and that's where, again, that later nap comes in. And if you think the kids are gonna pass out, but you're okay with them sleeping in the stroller, you wanna watch the parade, hey, nothing against that because I love the parade. It's my favorite. I'm not even gonna lie, we watch both. We catch both parades because honestly, I love it that much. Previous years, the later one, my kids would be sleeping in the stroller. This year, we're a little bit older, a little bit more wild. So both kids were up for both parades. It honestly depends on your kids, but I will say 8:30 is the one that is safe. Also, going to the 8:30 one, if there's a chance of rain, this is something that's not considered often. When people are telling you go to the 11 o'clock one, there's less crowds, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but if there's rain coming, I want to make sure I get to see that parade, so heading to the 8:30 one is the safest bet. Now, where do we stand for the parade? Well, if you want to not have to show up super early, I would highly suggest standing over in the Frontierland to Liberty Square area. Usually that area is not very filled in until closer to the parade time. Pretty much you can get there anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes before the parade starts and snag a pretty decent spot. The Castle Hub area is going to be heavily populated. If you want a spot there for the parade, you will likely have to line up an hour before. And no, I'm not being dramatic. If you have a stroller especially, you're gonna need to snag a spot. I highly suggest an hour before, and even at that, it might not be a prime spot. If you want Main Street, that can also get pretty congested. The 8:30 time on there is gonna be a lot more popular. The 11 o'clock time is going to be a bit easier to snag. We have stood at pretty much all different locations throughout the parade route. And I have to say, specifically for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, the Main Street area is honestly my favorite. So it's gonna be the only area that has the people that come out and do like all the little ball tricks, which is super fun. My daughter got to participate in that this year. They don't do that over at the Castle Hub or in the Frontierland area, so you won't get that at all. Also on Main Street is the only area that it snopes during the parade. So you're only gonna get that there as well. So my favorite spot, you might have to hang out just a little bit longer, is Main Street, USA. Let's talk fireworks. Minnie's wonderful Christmas time fireworks show is only held once a night at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. It is only at 10 p.m. and like I said earlier, it's popular and people flood out after. So yes, Main Street area is going to be very busy, but I want you to kind of take a look at how the night runs. So they set this up, and this is why that Castle Hub area gets so busy. They have a stage show, the Mickey's Most Merriest Celebration, at 7:40. At 8:15, they then have the Frozen Holiday Surprise, another super popular one, especially for littles. And yes, if you can catch it, highly suggest, but you gotta be kind of closer to the stage and not as far back as the Mickey and Walt statue to get a good glimpse, especially if you have littles. Then right at 8:30, they have the parade, and then they have another castle show. And then finally the fireworks. So basically people camp out. You're gonna see the same people standing in the same spot all the way from that 7:40 p.m. show up until after fireworks. It gets wild in that Castle Hub area, and rightfully so. People are very territorial of their spaces. So that whole Castle Hub area, I'm telling you, we've done it. If you can sit there with your kiddos in a stroller or in a space for, what is that, almost 2 hours, it's a long time to have the kiddos sitting there. So if you're wanting to watch fireworks at the Castle Hub area, I've got a better spot for you. If you scoot back a bit on Main Street, not right at the Casey's Corner area, back even more. Go about like halfway back towards the Christmas tree. You're gonna get a great view of the fireworks, of the castle, and of Main Street. So it's gonna be snoping on Main Street. You wanna be on there. Yes, you can watch fireworks from different locations, but you're not gonna get that snope everywhere. Again, my favorite spot, Main Street. So what we did was watch the fireworks show. It didn't get very full in that area until much closer. I'm talking like 10 minutes closer to the actual fireworks show.
And then right after that, we went and hopped over and got a spot over on the curb to watch the second parade. Let's talk rides. There are a good amount of rides that are still open during the Christmas party, and most of them are having lower waits than you would see on a normal park day. However, we do not prioritize a majority of these. If we were to prioritize any of them, it would be the ones that have an exclusive ride layover, or they call it a holiday twist. So some of these are going to be Tomorrowland Speedway, get some fancy Christmas lights. Space Mountain also has Christmas festive stuff. Monsters Inc. Laugh 4, Mad Tea Party, and then they have Jingle Cruise listed. Do not waste your party time on Jingle Cruise because it still has a decently long wait during then. Jingle Cruise is offered all park day, even when it's not a party. So save that for a Lightning Lane multi-pass on a different day. Let's get on some rides while there's no wait time. So rides that are like higher in demand, we've got Space Mountain looking anywhere from like a 15-minute to a 35-minute wait. Seven Doors Mine Train can go anywhere from 15 minutes all the way up to, I'm seeing 45 minutes. Let's see, even Jingle Cruise, again, open on a regular non-party day, those can get all the way up to 50 minutes. There are some rides that are definitely worth it, especially if they're like a walk-on. There's so many rides that only are like 5 minutes. So some rides make sense, but honestly, I am not prioritizing rides that I can get on outside of the party. Okay, let's talk character greetings. So this one is new this year, and it's all the way at the back of the park in Storybook Circus. So from 7 to 12, and yes, they did open up a bit earlier than that. He has Santa's Christmas Carnival. So you can meet Santa, and this queue is mind-blowing. Basically, the parents can wait in line while the littles go and get to do some crafts, activities, and write letters to Santa. You can get your photo taken and meet up with your parent once the parent's at the beginning of the line, and then you take your picture. They did also have some yummy little treats to hand out to the littles once you are done. All right, other characters you can meet over in Main Street USA. We have Mickey Mouse in some festive gear, and then also Jack Skellington as Santa and Sally. Then there's also Princess Elena. In Adventureland, you can see Captain Jack Sparrow. He had almost no wait when we walked by him. You can also see Moana and then friends from Aladdin. Over in Liberty Square, you can meet Mary Poppins, and then there's also Princess Tiana and Prince Naveen. Over in Fantasyland, you've got a ton of princesses and even their prince coming in exclusive to the Christmas party. So if you have a princess lover, this is probably one that you would put at the top of your list. So at Fairy Tale Hall, you have Anna Elsa, and then Cinderella, Prince Charming, and then Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. You also have Princess Aurora, and then Prince Philip, Snow White and the Prince, Belle, Ariel, Prince Eric. Over in Pete's Silly Sideshow, you have Mickey Mouse, Daisy Duck, Donald Duck, and Scrooge McDuck. Those are all one line. You can also meet friends from Winnie the Pooh back over in that Fantasyland area, and Alice in Wonderland, and then Mirabelle and Bruno. And then over in Tomorrowland, you have Santa Stitch. That line can get very long, as well as Jack Skellington and Sally. Some of these do start meeting earlier in the night, but some of them do not start meeting until 7 p.m. So if you have a character that you want to meet, one, make sure that they're exclusive to the party. If you could go meet them over in Epcot on a different day, highly suggest doing that. But the ones that have like the princesses with their prince, that totally makes sense to prioritize that and go meet them. One of my favorite parts, the food. So you get with your party ticket complimentary cookies and holiday beverages. There's going to be 5 different locations all throughout the park, and this year they really spread them out. All right, going counterclockwise when looking at the map. So the first one is going to be over in Tomorrowland, and you're going to be at the launching pad, then at Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe. Then you're gonna go over into Fantasyland all the way at the back of the park in Gaston's Tavern. The next one is going to be over in Liberty Square. This is at the Columbia Harbor House, and round it back over to the very far west side of the park over in Tortuga Tavern. Yes, all of these are complimentary, and you can go back multiple times to get as many as you want. But some of these lines actually proved to be quite long for us, so there weren't many that we went and did multiple trips. And finally, there are some delicious party exclusive snacks that you can order, of course, all throughout the park. So typically my husband and I, we like to go and kind of make note of all the snacks that we want to try ahead of time. So that way, once we get into the park, we have our game plan of what we're going to get. New this year, they've added mobile ordering to the Christmas party and the Halloween party. This has been a game changer. So you don't have to go stand in a long line to wait for your food. It's so much easier to mobile order. We did this over at Pecos Bill's right before the parade. We were waiting in our spot, had our mobile order in. My husband went and got our order. We came out, we all enjoyed our snacks. The kids just chilled in the stroller while they ate their snacks, and then we watched the parade. It was literal perfection. Mobile ordering is definitely a game changer. So if you have a snack, I would highly suggest you check out to see if you can mobile order. Some of the snacks that we did get, and I would suggest for others to get, over at Pecos Bill's, literally so underrated. Even during a normal park day. The carne asada loaded fries, even my kids were wanting this. It is a tiny bit spicy, but you also heavily suggest that you need to order the salted caramel horchata. Literally delicious. My kids actually ended up taking this. I should have went and ordered a second because this was so good. I need to learn how to recreate this at home. And then right next to Pecos Bill's is Golden Oak Outpost. They don't have a mobile order for this, but the line also wasn't that long and moved quickly. They have the holiday chicken nugget platter. It basically is like holiday on a plate, and the kids love it because it's chicken nuggets. So we all ate that. And then the festive beignets. I mean, who doesn't like beignets? They were delicious. The little sugar cookie dust sprinkles that they put on it didn't really stick on, but guess what? That didn't matter and didn't stop my kids from getting dirty with it. Loved it. The dance parties are also so much fun. So over in Tomorrowland at Cosmic Rays, you have the Disney Junior Jingle Jam. This starts right on time at 7 o'clock. So if you can, we found really great luck in just being out there. We ordered our party exclusive food at Cosmic Rays. Me and Dad sat, ate our food. The kids danced with the Disney Junior characters. It's so much fun. They have a DJ and he is leading dances as well. So eventually I got up and danced as well, but this is super fun, especially for the littles. And it's inside, a bit air conditioned. So you get out of that little sticky heat. Super fun if you can put it on your itinerary, but honestly, it's not like there's a long line for this. So if you just happen to walk upon it and go dance for 5 to 10 minutes, that's perfect. So I really wish they would actually spread out these dance parties, but again, over in Tomorrowland, they have Club Tinsel. This one is super fun as well, and it's outdoors, so if it rains, it rains. They also have characters coming out intermittently every now and then, dancing, and it's a much larger dance party. I would say kids still definitely will bop to the beat, but it's a bit more inclusive of like millennials because they're definitely playing some older music, you know, the stuff you hear at the grocery store. Yeah, that's it. So let's ask my 5-year-old son, what was your favorite part of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party? The cookies. Yeah, he likes the cookies. And the cocoa. Yeah, that's some of the best parts. And the what?
And the nutcracker.
Ah, that's got Mama's heart. The nutcrackers in the parade. Thanks, bub. And a final honorable mention is the Holly Jolly photos. So there's a ton of different photo ops as usual all throughout the park, but during the party, they do have party exclusive photo magic shots that you can get. And then they also have these like holiday scenes that you can step in, but those holiday scenes stay there even on a normal park day. So if you come back to Magic Kingdom, there's literally gonna be no line. All right, friends, so hopefully this helps you navigating Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Honestly, it ends up being a pretty chill night that is so much fun for the whole family, and I'm so excited that you get to go. We went this year, we went last year, previous years, and we absolutely love it. It is one that we will always return to. It is a non-negotiable for this mama when we are going to Disney World during the holidays. I can't wait to see what you guys end up doing. I would love for you to share all that with me in the comments. If you want to see what we did, go ahead and go check out our vlog from our recent trip and our time at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. That way you can get an idea of what a very loose itinerary looks like for 2 parents and 2 younger kids going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party with a double stroller, having to stop for all the snacks and all the things, potty breaks, just setting some realistic intention for your plans to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. I hope you have a blast and your kids absolutely love it. Please, for me, do not miss the parade. It is exceptional, and have a great time and a very Merry Christmas.